Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Untitled Chapter. Today is the 13th of July 2018, so welcome to this last trading day for this week. And welcome to this morning session where we're going to have a look at a few instruments that I believe are going to be worthwhile to have a look at, and yep, I hope you will find them useful. But before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content of this webinar does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Also, just a very quick reminder of our JFD Brokers research page where you can go in and have a look at different analysis that we do on a daily basis. We throw out different trading shoutouts, and yep, feel free to check out our daily analysis that we throw out every morning. So yep, the one for today is getting prepared currently, but yep, is going to come out soon. So yep, feel free to check us out. But anyway, let's jump into the charts now. So the first one I want to look at, guys, is the FTSE 100. Now we had a bit of a roller coaster week this week, seen here in the FTSE, and certainly initially looking at this bigger picture on the daily chart, we can see that we were holding on to this downwards moving trend line here, this short-term downwards moving trend line that has been running since the peak here that we had on the 22nd of on the 22nd of May. And for now we can see that yesterday we reversed back up here from this Wednesday's drop, this sharp drop that we had on Wednesday, and we've reversed back to the upside. At the moment, probably this becomes now irrelevant. This line here, this downwards moving trend line, becomes a bit irrelevant. So at this point, we'll just have to evaluate these highs here, the resistance and the support levels. So looking at the currently looking at the cash index, we can see that it's currently trading slightly above it, and certainly we can we might open today a bit in the positive zone. Maybe we could see a gap here, certainly, and we could start aiming for this level here, this potential area of good resistance at around 77.10. So guys, something to watch out for today. This is, let me put a 4-hour chart on this one, because probably this way it's going to be a little bit easier, and certainly this is what I want. Oops, excuse me guys, this is what I'm talking about. So for now you can see that we're kind of forming a little range here between the 77.10 and this level right here, this low that we had here at 75.10. So about, well, almost like well, actually almost this 200 pip range. That's what we are looking at right now, and let me just highlight those areas, guys, and it will be easier to look at. So for now, until we see a nice move out of this range, we're gonna stay kind of neutral. We're just gonna continue observing this one, and let's say if we do get a nice push here above the 77.10, then, well, this could open the path towards this higher level here at around 77.95. Certainly, just because we are currently trading slightly higher in the cash market, so like I said, we could see a bit of a gap here, and we are closer to this 77.10. So that's why, guys, be very careful and observe this level here. So because if we're going to start having breaks, and you'll see that the index wants to kind of push higher here, then we could eventually kind of position ourselves here for a possible trade of something like this. So just let me just align this quickly, and with a nice potential entry here at around 77.10, maybe slightly above it a little bit, and then of course having your stop loss, having a tight stop loss here around this 64 area, 63 area, something like that, and like I said, yeah, aiming for this 77.95. So because just kind of it would be good probably to cut your losses straight away if this reverses down, because if this reverses back down and moves below this below the 76.64 area, approximately there, maybe even actually a little bit lower here. We could probably see this one sliding lower and moving towards this lower side here, towards these lower levels, initially towards the 75.80, and then the 75.45, and then of course the 75.10, the one that I just talked about. So for now, guys, stay sharp. Certainly at this point is just until we kind of see a nice break here through the upper side of this kind of potential range. Until we see a nice break through this line, we are not going to do anything. We're just going to continue observing this one. Let's have a look at another one that I really want to show you guys, and that's the DXY. And for this one, I need to start off with a daily chart. And well, the dollar index is having a really good week this week. So we can see that Monday we opened up, we had a nice bullish candle here forming, and to be honest, up until yesterday, every single day was in the green. And the big question here today is going to be, is that going to be another green day for this index, or actually we're going to see a bit of retracement to the downside? So judging by this picture, I do apologize for the kind of amount of lines here, but nevertheless, so we had this upside support line, which we broke here on the around the 4th of July. We broke it to the downside and moved lower. You can see it found its support here at around this 50 EMA. Also managed to reach this level here, this 93.70 mark. So, and from which it reversed and moved higher. So the big question here is this going to continue pushing higher, maybe touch this upside support line from underneath and then reverse to the downside, or actually is it gonna start reversing straight away? For this one, of course, let's put a 4-hour chart. Let's have a look at some potential closer levels. So for now, this is how you could eventually position yourself. So we can see that yesterday we had we reached this high here at around the 94.94 mark, or maybe it's actually 94.95. Let's put it that way, somewhere around here. So if we do get a nice move here above this 94.95, this is where we could start aiming for this level right here at around 95.15. Good potential area of resistance. We can see that it was marked here by the highs that we had on the 2nd of July, and maybe slightly above continues to hold. Let me just kind of highlight the importance of this area here, and if this continues to hold, we could maybe see actually a move low here between this 94.95 and 94.65. Certainly if we see a break here below this level, let me just highlight that one as well. There we go. If we see a nice break here below this level, well, this could open the path towards these lower levels again, and we could maybe start aiming for some let me actually just get rid of this line because it becomes irrelevant now, and we could start aiming for 94.10 approximately there. And certainly slightly below that, we do have a nice good area of support at around 93.71 here, which we saw that we had a low here on the 9th of July, so which is Monday. So yeah, but this is, like I said, this is a scenario if we see a nice break here below this 94.65 mark. So keep an eye on this one, guys. Certainly at this point in time, it seems to be more bullish than bearish. So probably the first thing they need to watch out for is this 94.95 area and see what he wants to do with it, and then potentially, like I said, you could potentially maybe kind of trade this towards the towards this level here that I was talking about, of course not forgetting your stop loss. And another pair that I really want, one more pair I wanted to show you, and that's the Euro USD. And again, quickly looking at the daily chart, we can see that yesterday we had this small bodied candle, certainly still closing in the red. On Wednesday we managed to break this upside support line, this very short-term upside support line, broke it to the downside, and we moved low. Slightly below that, we do have a good level here at around 116.300. Let me just put a 4-hour chart for this one. So this is how we could eventually start positioning ourselves. So 116,300 could be a nice area for a touch, and we can see that currently the rate is kind of moving lower here. So if we're going to start next level here, I understand that it's a very short kind of range here, only like 20 pips here, but nevertheless it could be a good confirmation. A break of this 116,500 could lead towards this 116,300, where the rate could kind of stall for a little bit, and then of course the bulls and the bears could start deciding if they want to push this lower, or actually once they want to kind of see a rebound. If the selling momentum is quite strong, then we could maybe see even actually a break of this 116,300 and a move lower towards this 115,900 approximately there. So keep an eye on this one, guys. Certainly be careful, because it could be, we could see some false breakouts as well. So I need to kind of mention the importance of having your stop loss in place as well. So if suddenly, let's say this reverses back to the upside, actually let's get rid of this line. It's no longer required, this area as well. And if we start reversing back to the upside, now this probably keep an eye on this level right here at around 116,900 approximately there. So if we do get a nice pop here through this line, through this area, well, this could open the path towards some higher levels that we saw here in the beginning of the week. Let me just get rid of this one. Yep, it was no longer required. So we could start aiming and pushing for this 117,600 area approximately there, but that is only, of course, if we get a nice break here above the 116,900. Let me just quickly highlight that for you guys, so that you could see the zone as well clearly. So this is what I'm talking about here, and this is what I'm talking about here. So this is the levels for today, probably to keep monitoring. Yep, on the downside, I'll repeat myself, the 116,500, and you can see it's getting closer now to it. And on the upper side, the 116,900. Let's quickly touch on another pair that I really want to show you, and that's Aussie dollar. And the Aussie dollar is performing slightly better. The Australian currency is performing slightly better than the European currency, and we can see that yesterday we had a nice move here higher. We closed the day in the green. It certainly found its resistance initially on around the 21 EMA, but today we're seeing this continuation to the upside. And the question here is, of course, are we going to actually see this continuation to the upside, and if this is going to continue moving higher throughout the whole day? So for the short term, like positioning yourself from the short term perspective here, we could maybe see another move here. If we see another move here above the 0.74200, well, this could maybe potentially open the path towards this level right here initially, at around 0.74450, and then maybe slightly above that towards these levels that we have seen here in the beginning of the week. And this is, of course, going to be really interesting to see how this week is going to close, because currently we're seeing this bearish candle forming, and certainly let's see if the bulls actually are going to manage to kind of drive this back up here. Maybe we could see a bit of retracement back to the downside, from which it could reverse back up and move higher. 600 only, and on a break below here, we're gonna start examining the lower levels. But for now, we're just gonna keep on monitoring these higher levels. And one last pair that I really wanted to touch on, guys, is quickly here that we had between the 0.99900 and this 0.98500. We can see that yesterday we had a nice pop here to the upside. We broke this level here. We broke the 0.99900. We managed to take out the psychological. I mean, it could potentially move a little bit higher, even actually maybe towards the 1.0055 mark that we saw here, that was acted as a nice area of resistance in May. So potentially we could end up reaching this level maybe actually today, who knows, or if it doesn't happen today, maybe this is going to be something for next week, because if it doesn't reach this level today, then we could probably see a scenario where the pair kind of moves in this direction where it's going to probably drop back down towards this 0.99900 level, probably take out a lot of buyers who are buying right now, and then make its move higher again. So a potential scenario for today, or even actually for something for the beginning of next week. Okay guys, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and if you want to join the session, and let not the Friday the 13th kind of ruin your day. Okay, thank you very much, and bye-bye.